2025, and God bless you all tuning in. Massive day. This is crypto country now. Donald Trump has established the Bitcoin, but more importantly, crypto reserve. It's very important to note that Donald Trump is not a Bitcoin maximalist. Please like and share. He is a crypto and Bitcoin maximalist, which means that the strategic reserve that will be formed as a part of national security, as a part of the military industrial complex, as a part of literally the U.S. Treasury. It's very interesting to see all of our predictions come into fruition because now we are living through the crypto renaissance, the Bitcoin United States, where it has now become ubiquitous. And all of Wall Street and all of America and all of the entire world is now moving in. Sovereign governments are buying as much as they can. They're pumping our freaking bags to the moon. I mean, altcoins are freaking soaring today. RSR is off the freaking hook. It's going to the moon because, again, we always understood this plan. This is basically my life's work. I told you that you were being scammed by the elites. You were being scammed by BlackRock. Even Trump once called Bitcoin a scam and crypto a scam. And now it's flipped into this is the biggest thing in the world, bigger than AI because it is AI, bigger than social media, bigger than e-commerce. This is making many of you tuning in, sovereign individuals, the new wealth class here at islandproject.com. And it is absolutely an amazing sight to see. Days before Donald Trump's very contested and somewhat nerve-wracking inauguration on Monday. It's interesting, Big Mike, Big Mike will not be attending. I don't know why. Michelle will not be in attendance. Big Mike's not going to be there, so I don't know what she is up to. Very strange, though. Kind of actually the cynic in me wonders, is something about to happen? Like, does Big Mike know something? Is that why she's not going to attend the inauguration? Or is it just a stab on Donald Trump and the whole Trump family? It's just bizarre that a former first lady would not have at least the decency and common respect. I mean, first lady, decency and common respect to actually attend this major event. Again, Donald Trump has been under attack largely his entire career, his entire presidency, battling the courts, battling the media, battling the radical left. 2 attempts on his life. Will there be a third? So it's really odd, and pray against that, of course, that Michelle Obama isn't attending the inauguration. And the big news today, again, with crypto soaring, breaking new all-time highs, again, as predicted. I mean, this is the number one thing I've been telling you guys literally forever, like 10,000 plus videos, like all my schools, 10 plus years. Islandproject.com got some very important announcements there as well. This has been literally my primary mission statement, the number one theme, the thing that I repeat over and over and over again. I mean, the amount of adversity and people that called Bitcoin a scam all these years, now only to be forced on the Bitcoin crypto standard, is kind of comical, honestly, in a way. And I truly believe that this will be the biggest crypto pump that we've ever experienced in any previous cycle. I am fully expecting the cryptocurrency market to eclipse 5 trillion plus minimum in total crypto market cap in days of 20, 50, 100% gains daily for weeks with certain altcoins, RSR in particular. Reserve rights, check it out. It's my number 1,000x pick right now. It's up like 10% earlier today. It's trading under just $1 billion. This thing is going to 1,000x. And volume is up today. And the Ethereum contract ending in 5D70. You can see here reserve rights making some big moves, up 11 freaking percent today, as the general predicted, up only. Again, expect this to skyrocket, and here's why. And this goes for, a lot of the marketplace too, like everything's pumping right now, right? And the reason for that is Donald Trump's entire campaign financing and support comes from Bitcoin millionaires and billionaires. It comes from the tech oligarchy. People like Elon Musk, people like Peter Thiel, people like Sam Altman. And obviously the investments that Peter Thiel and Sam Altman make and Elon Musk are in are going to outperform and continue to 1000x, right? Because that's a reward for supporting Donald Trump. And it's very important to Donald Trump that he is the Bitcoin president and he's able to take credit for the #1 technological revolution in world history. Again, a renaissance, a complete transformation of human civilization, all of society, the economy, currency, sovereignty, fractionalization, the list goes on and on. It's very important that Donald Trump takes credit. So he's got a personal vendetta to see Bitcoin at 150K, 250K, $1 million. He's got his family's name stamped on Bitcoin States of America here in the United States. So it's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. I mean, his own sons tell you now that Bitcoin's going to at least 1 million. I think that's being far too conservative. Again, I've said for years it'll go to at least 2 to 3 million. Michael Saylor is even more aggressive. Says it's going to trade as high as 13 trillion as it takes out the market cap of every single sector of the economy. And again, facts are facts. Again, Bitcoin, crypto, #1 performing assets in the world year over freaking year. Every single year, total, pure, utter domination, more wealth creation, more money-making opportunities, more opportunity than there's ever been in any other sector, any other area of the economy. This is the #1 way to get rich, which is why I established BitcoinRich.com. It's why we just closed, by the way, on a brand new property in Hapuna Beach, Big Island, $5.5 million, no bank debt. Boom. Just added it to the portfolio. I do want to welcome James. You know who you are, James S. Just onboarded with 30 units at islandproject.com. God bless you. Congrats. Also, Grant out of Hawaii. Just onboarded 30 units as well into islandproject.com. God bless you. Phil just came in with 30 units to islandproject.com. God bless you. Karen S. You know who you are. I just signed off on your docs. Congratulations. Just onboarded 30 freaking units. Another 30 coming on in. We got Philip B. out of Ohio. Just reviewed your app. 30 units. Islandproject.com. Aurelio. You know who you are. 30 units, my man. God bless you. Because again, this is new America now. This is the new sovereignty. You also need to understand that, again, the reserve fund in the United States, reserve rights, RSR, reserve rights, the reserve fund in the United States is going to hold a basket of cryptos, not just Bitcoin. It will include reserve rights, in my opinion. It will include Ethereum. It will include XRP. My top 3 picks for going on, over 10 years now. All of them have 1000x'd over and over and over and over again. And by the way, huge moves in XRP. Congratulations to the XRP army. I did take some profits actually over the last 24 hours as we were hitting some new all-time highs. I think it's a good time to do that. And again, I've got my targets at $4 and also $5. We'll be taking more profits. Again, that's just smart money. Always be ready, right? Take the gain. And that's what I've been telling you all to do. Again, as Bitcoin reached its previous all-time high of 108,000 roughly, I told you to take profits, and it dumped all the way down to 90. That was a good time to execute and book that gain into a real asset that you control, that has no downside, which you can use, that has capital gains, as income, an extraordinary community. But by the way, we are firing up the Learjet, the donuts coming on the Learjet. Papa John's coming on the Learjet. We got some surprises coming for you, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very bullish altcoins. Very, very bullish reserve rights. I am expecting a massive breakout in Ethereum. It'll send all altcoins like RSR sky high to new records. It will hit and break its new previous all-time high of 10 cents. That'll happen, I believe, imminently. It truly is your last opportunity to get into this Peter Thiel, Sam Altman endorsed and funded investment. I have to say, not financial advice, just rich people's advice. See my terms and disclaimers. But again, Peter Thiel, what do they own? Reserve rights. Sam Altman, ChatGPT, what does he own and endorse? Reserve rights, RSR. Who is the new SEC chair pick of Donald Trump? Paul Atkins served on the advisory board of reserve rights. Again, reserve rights, guys. It's only going freaking higher because it's a sure thing. It also plays into the narrative of the new reserve, the new strategic reserve that Donald Trump is establishing. And that's what reserve currency is. If you read up on it, just intellectually, you understand what their protocol does. The decentralized protocol of reserve rights is just that. It's basically a new standardization of currency. And they create baskets called tokenized diversified portfolios or diversified tokenized portfolios, DTFs. Kind of funny. Are you DTF? Are you down to F? It's kind of like a funny play on that. But what that is an asset-backed security of which you can have diversified investments in the smart contract. Real estate, gold, silver, stocks, bonds, ETFs, index funds, the list goes on and on. You can also allocate and diversify across stablecoins like USDC and others, which, by the way, USDC I'm sure will be a part of the strategic reserve as well. Because, again, this is the new model of innovation. This has been one giant, great, pre-planned reset from the beginning. And now it's really kind of comical, and it's interesting for me to see it after predicting all these years, having enormous success, all you members out there just dominating, right? $30 million plus of real estate now owned, totally dominated over the last 2 years since July 22, right? Our Declaration of Independence, our 1776, July 4th, that's when we started. It's amazing to see. Now, look at how something can start with just a vision and an idea and then become 1000x reality. Look at how freaking amazing that is, how absolutely incredible that is. And I'm so humbled, to be closing on another $6 million beachfront property again. This is getting tiresome almost. It's like Forrest Gump. I was invited back to the White House again, and I had another Dr. Pepper. Every freaking property we close, it's just like, again? Another one? Papa John? Where are we going? Thailand? Tokyo? So the Learjet's being fired up. Fueling it up right now. Got some big exhaust to blow. And we're excited. We also got some interesting and fun stuff we're going to do too. Like we're going to do some kind of like some podcasts and stuff. We're going to switch up. We're going to start having some, bringing some different content hooks to you guys. Let's have a little fun. Especially since we've just dominated so much. Look at that. Just look at this for a second. This is absolutely incredible. And by the way, to buy RSR, very easy to do. You can do it with Coinbase Wallet, really easy. Coinbase Wallet, download it on your phone, fund a little Ethereum, swap for the Ethereum RSR contract, reserve rights, boom, you got it done, you're in. You're 1000 freaking X. Same with MetaMask. You swap it there as well. Swap Ethereum. And I'm recommending the Ethereum chain. Okay, so make sure you're buying reserve rights, RSR up 11% today. Wallet growth going exponential, seeing huge movements there. Again, new all-time highs imminent. Contract address ending in 5D70. I like to show you guys on the screen so you get a visual of all this stuff. But here it is. You can see just the absolute parabola forming. Okay, right now, this is a perfect cup and handle technical formation. For those of you in this world like I am, we see this all the time before major parabolic breakouts. And, if you come out a little bit on the chart too, and obviously we have all these positive new developments, Trump making America the Bitcoin strategic reserve country of the world. They're even replacing the name of the United States. This is just Bitcoin country now. We might even just drop certain words to the Constitution. It's just all Bitcoin, all crypto, all day long, all blockchain, BlackRock's on top of it, State Street, Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab. Everybody's on top of this. It's just riding the train. And here's what's so insane, it blows my mind. Less than 15% of all Americans even own any crypto at all. So it's still very early. So I want you to think about that. Once the general masses start panicking in, right, the remaining 70, 80% that doesn't own any Bitcoin and crypto, you've got tons of retail coming into the market, buying diversified token portfolios like RSR, buying index funds of crypto. Right? Hedge fund managers on Wall Street, they don't just buy one crypto, they buy a lot of them, and then they're going to package it to the American public for sale. And then Americans are going to buy it, and their pensions, retirement accounts, sovereign wealth funds, banks, et cetera, institutions keep buying it all up. They're forced to buy reserve rights. They're forced to buy. By the way, Litecoin's been doing really well. That's another holding I have in my portfolio. I always liked Charlie Lee. He's the inventor of Litecoin. Really nice guy. Always liked chatting with him. He's a very positive man, and he gave me a lot of encouragement in the early days before I launched islandproject.com, actually, too. He was like, Christopher, the best advice I can give you is just build in the bear markets. And I was very inquisitive. I'm always asking a lot of questions. And you're just a really nice person. And I noticed that actually from a lot of the Bitcoin OGs, like Charlie Shrem is a wonderful man. And he gave me the same advice pretty much. He's like, build in the bear market, Christopher. He's like, do it. Brock Pierce, really great guy. Like him as well personally. I think he's a really interesting fellow too. Kind of eccentric, but so am I. So I think we kind of jive together. Gave me pretty much similar advice. Brock is really interesting. He's one of the few people that actually has understood fractionalization and all these amazing new concepts in real estate that we're doing now. And he got it very early. So these are the OGs. I'm just kind of sharing that for encouragement. One of the best opportunities I had too was sitting down with Steve Forbes. And I remember telling and sharing him, explaining what Bitcoin was and crypto. He's a great man, really like him as well. Jim Rogers, of course, worked on the Quantum Fund. He's a billionaire. He's actually associated with George Soros. I had him out. Actually, we had him come out on a red carpet, limo and everything, had my whole team take care of him in Singapore. And I gave him a grand tour. I was headline speaking at the Marina Bay Sands. If you guys know where that is, big hotel with the pull-up up top. And so I had Jim Rogers come in. I called him when we landed. And that was really early. And I love that, too, because, smart people are interested in being educated. And I remember Jim was like super skeptical, too. I don't know if I entirely convinced him on Bitcoin and crypto at the time, but was really cool. And this is why these people are so rich and smart, is because they're open to thinking and entertaining new ideas and technologies. They'll eventually change their mind. And then once they understand something, they'll go all in. Even arguably, I think that's probably what Trump had done in the beginning because he originally didn't really understand. Now he understands what people like you, people like me have already known for, 10 years. So it's really cool. I just want to congratulate all you guys because you've seen nothing yet. Like literally, this is the biggest start of the biggest pandemonium party that we have ever had in world history. And it's literally just going to be up only continuously. I think, number one, definitely through first quarter. Dude, even the stock market on hot air right now, just getting pumped up with hyperinflation, and then all the money coming out of the bank. It's going to create a crisis at some point, but it's all coming and FOMOing into crypto. Once Bitcoin crushes 150K, Trump's going to take credit for it. Everyone's going to be yapping about it and chatting about it and telling their friends and their grandma and their janitors and the taxi drivers and the Uber drivers are all going to be, sharing with you and telling you to buy crypto and Bitcoin. I was driving the Lambo yesterday. I'm driving the Lambo. Got it all like waxed up. Looks freaking incredible. I go out to a nice steak dinner. I'm having a drink, man. I got some whipped mashed potatoes. I pull the car up. They put it right on display. Some guy comes up to me, a nice, good-looking older gentleman. He's like, oh, wow, beautiful car. I'm like, oh, yeah. Amazing, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, I just bought it out of Texas. I said, I'm a Bitcoin guy. You ever heard of that? And he's like, oh, yeah, yes, I have. So it's kind of interesting, like this new revolution, and we've seen it with the tech oligarchs before, but basically now all the nerds are in charge. It's kind of funny, isn't it? It's like all the nerds in high school, like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. They're in charge now. They're the new mafiosos, right? Anyone in crypto, anyone in altcoins, they're the new sovereign man and woman. They're the ones building parallel economies. They're the ones participating, investing like James S. Grant out of Hawaii, Phil, Karen, Kim. And by the way, Kim, you know who you are. God bless you, sister. I love you. Philip, Aurelio, like you guys really are a part of something amazing in this incredible revolution for freedom and liberty and new inventions and new ways of doing business and, exploring all these ideas. It really is fantastic. And I really think it's the bright spot in a very uncertain economy, of course, and a lot of danger ahead for the United States of America. I personally think things look pretty dark politically and what's happening in the world today, but I really think the bright spot has been, this, and it has been blockchain, and it has been Bitcoin. So I just encourage you guys, like, don't miss it. I'm really just sharing with you. It's still early. I'm expecting just massive, like, remember if we go back to the dot-coms, and this is, I wouldn't really compare it to the dot-coms, but it's like when the dot-coms went nuts, like when it went just pure, like, craziness. We're entering that stage of mainstream adoption. Keep in mind, we've had multiple crashes in crypto. I was throwing shares in the pool at 3,500 during the lockdowns. We had a huge crash down to like 16,000 when Sam Bankman-Fried went down with the ship of FTX. Remember that? So we've already had all those great crashes. So all those great mega panics, most of them at least, a lot of them have already happened. Now we're just coming into the cementation phase of the new system, of the new Bitcoin crypto hegemonic action and establishment of an entirely new model for human civilization and ubiquity, which is so crazy to think about. You know, the more that I hear Donald Trump and our politicians keep selling Americans on Bitcoin and crypto, I almost kind of chuckle to myself because it's that mainstream now that every single American in every single state and every citizen worldwide will now be piling in to the recommendation we've been recommending for literally 10 years straight, facing headwinds, cynicism, criticism, and just unintelligent arguments like, oh, the governments are going to ban it. Nope, now they're just introducing it. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So predictable. We know the elites are always pulling the wool over your eyes. They don't want you rich. They want you poor, right? I want you absolutely 1,000x rich. So, again, asset allocation is important here. My first videos I ever produced at BitcoinRich.com is always about asset allocation, right? You want to hold 60, 70% Bitcoin. Then you want like 10% Ethereum. You want like 10% XRP. Then you spread out across the other high-performing assets, RSR, right? Memes, which have not really been doing that well, honestly. And the reason for that, everything's moving into utility, right? There might be one meme that would be on Trump's strategic reserve, maybe Doge. Possibly, but probably not. Maybe though. Okay, but now we're seeing like the use cases. Again, I already set you guys up. I told you guys about this for a very long time, that the 2025 trend would be real world asset tokenization models like the Island Project. That fractional ownership, turnkey fractional ownership tokenized of real world assets with no bank debt was the future. That parallel economies were the future. That now, as Bitcoin has been validated as the number one asset in the world, number one performing investment in the world, just absolutely dominating everything. If you bought any of it with any period of time in the last 10 years, you're rich, right? And soon to be, we're about to break a new all-time high. That means if you've ever bought Bitcoin, you're actually in profit. So think about that for a minute. Like, where are we right now? Let me take a look at this because we're about to break a new all-time high. Again, like, we're at 105K, guys. You're at 105K. You'll never be able to buy Bitcoin under 100,000 ever again. You missed it. Bitcoin is likely to be trading at 150K, could even be as soon as inauguration. We could have a God candle. Some of the picks, some assets in my portfolio were up like 40, 50% today in just mega candles. Seriously, though. Insane, guys. Look at this 7-day performance. Fartcoin is still up. Fartcoin has pulled a 63% gain. Incredible. Just blowing hot air. We've got XRP again, near 40% gain. Hedera, 32% gain. Kaspa, 30%. Litecoin, still think Litecoin will keep running. Again, Litecoin has always been described to me, and I've always described it, it's kind of like Bitcoin's silver equivalent. Bitcoin's gold, Litecoin's like silver, right? Bitcoin and Litecoin. So that's how you kind of think about that. So also in the news, just kind of more validity to what I've been telling you guys all these years. One of Elon Musk's rockets where they want to put humans in there to send them to Mars blew up. So if anyone was in those, like let's say they were actually doing it live or operationally, like those people would have lost their lives. Proving again, the technology really isn't that good. And I mean, what test flight is this? Like 6 or something like that? So it blew up within the last day. You know, proving in my opinion that isn't it strange that we haven't been back to the moon since 1972 and they haven't been back again. And Elon Musk telling us you're going to Mars, but his rockets blow up on their test flights. Like, They haven't even solved Jeff Bezos' male pattern baldness yet. They don't have cures for cancer, guys. They couldn't stop what was coming all around the world in 2020. So, like, what makes you think that they have the technology? They couldn't stop the wildfires in Los Angeles. They couldn't stop it. It was out of control. Like, you think it's going to be easier to develop the red planet light years away in a hostile environment that's literally on fire constantly with no oxygen? Of course not. It's all lies. So again, we're all moving kind of into this new system. Again, a lot of what's happening in the world, I view it's pretty dark. As a result of all the Teslas that weren't able to operate during the fires when the grid went down because there was no electricity, it's very unsafe. I mean, again, you'd be much better off in a gas guzzler like I own. That way you can ride out of the fires. I had to do that even with my Jeeps in Lahaina when everything is bursting into flames. All the Teslas, we were just riding over them because they don't work. In addition to that, because of the fires, all the Tesla batteries have been exploding into toxic, polluted fumes into the sky. That's created a lot more pollution and toxicity now. I mean, not to mention Elon Musk's rocket just exploding and blowing up into a million pieces the other day. So I'm sure that's not good for the environment either. But whatever. These guys are all concerned about the climate and stuff. You know how it is. They fly around and, got all their yachts and stuff, and they use more carbon emissions than you do in your entire lifetime in like a couple days. I mean, Musk is back and forth flying around like 3 different times a day. It's just funny. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. But really what I'm focusing on the positive, guys. I mean, honestly, there's so much money to be made in RSR. I did just do a big post on this. So I actually think Coinbase is going to list RSR reserve rights token soon. That's my opinion. I think that's absolutely going to happen. And that'll 10x the price minimum just by itself. Once all that new liquidity comes in with a major exchange listing, especially since Donald Trump's SEC pick, Paul Atkins, served on the board as an advisor of reserve rights, along with investors Peter Thiel and Sam Altman. I mean, the likelihood of reserve rights getting a far more pro-regulatory framework is very high, which makes them the most likely actually to be the benefactors of all of this new prosperity coming to the United States as a result of Donald Trump's actions. So this really is state of the art. It's huge 1000x opportunity. Very excited about it. I do have a private video. If you can watch that at islandprojectclub.com if you want to watch that. I put that out, a week ago, getting you all ready before all these big gains have started, which you're just in the beginning of it. Like, you've seen nothing yet. You're going to see 100% God candles just every day. Like, they're just going to keep going up. Again, so much upside potential, especially comparatively to the other RWA asset classes. Like Hedera Hashgraph's like at a $15 billion market cap. So if Reserve just did that, it's 10 to 15xing just doing that. If it's listed on Coinbase at 10x's, again, you're going to get some huge God candles, in my view, which is why I'm telling you to buy it. And let's also see what we got going on in the news. Oh, yeah, we did get some positive news, too. So definitely a positive that there is allegedly going to be a ceasefire overseas in the Middle East. So that I congratulate. I'm all for that. I'm all for peace and the stoppage of that brutal war that's been occurring. So that's good news. I think the markets have been liking that too. So that's kind of, I'm a cynic because when they declare peace, I actually think that's when sudden destruction cometh. In my humble opinion, that's my real opinion. But the markets are perceiving that as a huge positive because it's adding stability. And then, of course, pushing crypto to new all-time highs. Also, keep in mind, Donald Trump and his sons have already launched their own crypto projects. So they're very self-interested and they're only pumping their own backs. Right? So you can't even blame them. Like Trump and all of his sons and his family and the Trump empire own tons of Bitcoin and crypto now. So obviously they're going to pump their own bags to the moon. I mean, just like if you own real estate, you want your real estate to go up in value. So, you've got Donald Trump, the godfather, in power now. Now he's just going to pump everyone's backs. And again, it's important to him because in my opinion, and this is even good, it's kind of an ego thing for him in a positive way. Right? Great leaders do have somewhat of an ego and they have confidence. And so it's very important. I'm telling you, it's very important to Donald Trump's legacy that he is the Bitcoin president and he is known as the president to pump Bitcoin, to shatter new all-time records and define it as the new reserve standard hegemonic system. And so that's absolutely what I believe he's going to do. They're moving the inauguration from outside They say due to the weather, but it's probably mostly due to security as well, to inside. Kind of strange. We didn't see that in the last couple inaugurations. So I'm kind of wondering, are there just security fears? Is something else going on that we're not aware of? Has there been another attempt on Donald Trump that they're not releasing to the public? Is he safe? Can his Secret Service be trusted? I mean, these are all things that we really need to be worried about. And yeah, even Bill Gates says he's impressed. I don't know, I just caught this. Bill Gates says he's impressed with the MAGA revolution. So even Bill Gates is giving credit, that's crazy, to Donald Trump. They're also banning TikTok. They say it's taking too much private information of Americans, which is kind of weird because all the other same social media giants that you're all well aware of here in the United States, owned by American companies, do the exact same thing. But they just don't want China to have the information. They're the ones that they want to snoop. Kind of weird. So that's going on as well. So really, I mean, guys, the news is this is Trump country now. The news is Bitcoin's the new standard currency. The news is that if you're in any kind of crypto and Bitcoin and you're in real world assets like the Island Project, you're only going to get more rich in 2025, just like I said, just like I've told you, just like I've advised, just like I've thrown chairs in the pool every single day, thousands of times, just like I've produced multiple, hundreds, thousands of videos telling you Bitcoin's going to crush 100K. Bitcoin's going to go to 6 figures. Bitcoin's going to go to 100K. I've done so many videos just repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Bitcoin, crypto. I keep telling you, real world assets, tokenized assets, real estate. This is where it's at. This is how you make money. This is how you get rich. Palantir, buy that stock. Goes up. Number one S&P 500 performer. All last year in 2024, the number one. And now I'm telling you now, it's reserve rights. Peter Thiel backed, Peter Thiel funded, Peter Thiel invested, Sam Altman funded, Sam Altman backed, Sam Altman investment. The new regulatory SEC pick, Paul Atkins served as an advisor. And if you understand anything about anything, you'll actually know what I'm telling you is the truth. And it's going to be a massive opportunity this year and beyond. So stay on your toes. I'm sure there's going to be some disruption leading up in an inauguration, and anything can happen. And again, the world's still a very tumultuous place. There's still massive amounts of hyperinflation and huge disparity in wealth gaps. Of course, the American people are totally being rip-rolled into poverty. Universal basic income will be coming very soon after the wealth transfer is complete and is official, and all the money is just going to keep flowing into everyone that owns crypto and Bitcoin and real estate. It's only going to go higher and higher and higher. All the prices in California, they're just going to keep going higher and higher and higher. It's supply-demand economics 101. Burn everything down, there's less inventory. Same thing happened with Maui. Prices just keep skyrocketing and going higher. Because of the new technology footprints of crypto and blockchain and the ecosystems that are being developed now, like smart contract technologies, that means more liquidity comes into, guess what? Real estate, pushing prices higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. So it's not going to stop, just going to keep going up, which is the plan. You own nothing and you'll be happy because they'll make it unaffordable so you can't afford it. The average, I think, homeowner is like in their 50s now or something because like no one can afford anything because that's their plan. Hyperinflate the currency, right? Print enormous amounts of debt at the Fed. Trump's even going to do that. He's going to do it too. All the presidents do. And it's going to just keep creating the problem. And it's going to also keep creating massive opportunities for all of you tuning in to get rich because of that, right? So this is what you need to understand. I said in 2020 that the minute they rolled that out, the lockdowns, the closures of businesses, the panics, the supply chain shocks, what was that going to do? Create intentional hyperinflation, which it did. And then I told you, what is all these bailouts? What are all these PPP loans? What is all this new debt? What is all this money printing creation going to do? I told you it's going to create more and more hyperinflation. Many of you said, no, that's not going to happen. Prices are going to come down. They never have come down. They're not going down. This is up only, guys. This is the great, you know what? I can't say it. This is the wealth transfer. You're living through it now. This is Bitcoin crypto hysteria. I hope you're not missing it. I hope you're onboarding. I hope you called my dad today at 808-442-2934. The Learjet's getting fired up. I got some major surprises. We're going to be moving and we're going to be shaking. Also, I'll be doing more reveals on the ground of our host of exclusive multi-million-dollar properties. And I'll show you a little bit more of that. I mean, the accomplishments have just been enormous. World-class, gold standard. You know, absolutely pure domination, World Series achievements, unlocks, up freaking only, like literally Olympic gold medalists over here, dominating the entire front of crypto and Bitcoin and tokenized real world assets and real estate, just buying beachfront freaking left and right, ski lodges left and right, internationalizing. And this year is going to be fun too, because as we expand internationally for the membership, you know, expect satellites in Tokyo, Bali, Thailand, booyah, and the list goes on. Singapore, Dubai would be an excellent satellite as well. These are all great areas as we keep expanding. Central America, South America. I mean, again, imagine this portfolio 2 years from now. We've already dominated in 2 years. Imagine another 2 years and then another 2 years, just a pure, utter domination mode of what we've built along with our amazing Christian, God-fearing, Jesus Christ first members. Absolutely incredible. Our hats are off to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I even got new merch going out to all of you. I just signed off on that. There's hundreds and hundreds of hats and coffee mugs. So I appreciate your patience. Those are all coming out now in new colors. Absolutely sexy. I mean, you see all my merch. You see all the threads we got. We always do it right. You know it is. I always like the bright shirts and the bright hats and the attention getter. I mean, look at our logo, man. Look how dope that logo is. See, I designed that because you got like the sailboat, right? The digital Noah's Ark. You got the palm tree, multiple flagships. And then right there, right, you got the blocks, right? You got the digitization of the fractional real estate, baby. You see, all of it was well thought out, even creatively. So, super excited. Again, also just to put it out there too, like as markets are going up, okay, when you're 10, 50xing, when you're breaking new all-time highs, take profits. And this is what I've been advising. Dollar cost average, take 25%. Realize the gain, move it into island projects. Should have already been doing that with XRP. I've been telling you to do that. That's what I've been doing. I've been telling you to do that with Bitcoin because you always want to be taking these gains. It's always a good idea to have a little dry powder, you know, a little stable coin, looking for some action, right? Looking for a deal. It's like a couple weeks from now, you know, after Bitcoin crushes 150, we get a dump, you know, get a little dumpity-dump, diarrhea's going everywhere, you buy, right? So like, as long as you've got a plan, trust the plan, and you've got a great asset allocation, which I've always preached and advised at school, okay, and you've spread that out, and you've bought top-tier investments, I mean, you really only need one of them to 10 or 100 or 1,000x, and you're rich. That's what's so incredible about this space. And I really do believe that this is the last big hyper pump where these outsized returns are still possible. Because again, as we go on the curve, as of course the US dollar is replaced by Bitcoin and crypto, and all citizens worldwide are forced onto this standard, which I've always told you that you would be, whether you liked it or not, and they get rid of US dollars and move it into the digital form, the law of diminished returns will start to play in at that point. So, you know, I'm always, you know, looking for the next 1,000x, and the biggest opportunity is the Island Project. Tokenized, real-world assets with already an established portfolio with no downside, with capital gains long-term, a legacy asset that you grow with us, that you can also get some enjoyment and use out of, in addition to the 1,000x tokenization, which even if we 30x, let's say 30 units, you're a millionaire. I mean, I don't know how it could be presented in a more simplistic, better way than that, where you've got all those guarantees of a real world asset you can touch, get some enjoyment and some use, plus all the capital gains, plus true ownership, plus 100% equity rights, plus a community, plus a network, plus all the alpha, in addition to 1,000xing. Like, what more could you possibly ask for? And it's why we brought the best of both worlds of Bitcoin into real estate, which Donald Trump will catch on to this at some point. Again, we're the Trumps of real estate tokenization. We figured it out before everybody else. And I'm very humbled by that. It's amazing. Thank you, God. God's the one that told me. And through all the research and, of course, the due diligence and just the direct connections with all these very, you know, successful people And all the events we've attended, all the speeches I've given, I mean, all of it, meeting with all these different founders and creators. And, you know, that's been extremely beneficial. Of course, in the education, as all of you should really focus on education, because education with action, that's your success model. Okay, and I hope that that's what you've learned from me in recent years. So very, very exciting. This is the pump of a lifetime. It'll probably never happen again. A lot of you still will miss it. Once it becomes obvious, all the 1,000x multi-million-dollar gains are gone. And by the time a lot of people wake up, again, Island Project will be trading in the billions and billions of dollars. Hey, look, reserve rights is even up even more. It's on its way to 17 now. Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I love these technicals. They're just so sexy right now. Absolutely. Yeah, the momentum here is insane. Here, let's take a look too. Just so the fear and greed index. You remember how I told you like a week ago that it's still very early? We were at a neutral. We're still at neutral. We're not even at like pure greed yet. I think we're just kind of in the hope phase. You know, when everyone's like hopeful, like, I don't know, maybe Bitcoin is the future. And then, you know, once we break 150K, all of our altcoins skyrocket at making a lot of you millionaires, you know, then it starts getting into the greed mode, right? And then like the panic, euphoria, FOMO. So we're not there yet. It's really just started. And we're also starting to see Bitcoin dominance break down, which I predicted, which will then translate into Ethereum. Ethereum's on deck for a massive pump. And a lot of these altcoins, of course, are Ethereum derivatives and Ethereum chains like RSR. So, of course, all the altcoins on the Ethereum chain benefit from new record highs in Ethereum, guaranteeing largely, in my view, a massive, massive opportunity in all of these areas. And again, for those of you who don't know, reserve rights is an incredible technology that actually creates tokenized baskets, diversified baskets of these assets. So let me just show you a picture because some of you are visual. But the reserve rights protocol, reserve, what Donald Trump is establishing, holds in its R token, gold, silver, stocks, bonds, ETFs, stable coins, real estate, any asset that you want, even diversified meme tokens if you want to play memes. So these new decentralized products will be adopted and used, and this is what I think is going to happen because I believe reserve token, reserve rights, RSR, is the BlackRock of the space. That's what I believe. I mean, again, it's Peter Thiel's investment. Why wouldn't it be? These guys dominate everything. I mean, these are the leaders of the world and the sovereign individuals. So, like, absolutely, BlackRock and all these companies are going to need technologies and blockchains and vehicles to place their existing investments and products. Right? BlackRock has a $15 trillion, I think, assets under management, AUM. And they're going to use reserve rights and our token and other blockchains like it to package these deals. So this is what a lot of you probably don't see yet. See, I've always known everything's being tokenized, right? Everything. The entire freaking planet, all of Wall Street, every stock, gold, silver, real estate, securities, memes, right? It's going to be indexed. Just like today you have index funds and ETFs and exchange trade, you know, all those things. They're doing the same thing with tokenization across blockchains. And so you have companies like BlackRock, and guess what they're going to pounce on? Reserve rights. And they're going to call up their friend Peter Thiel and Sam Altman and get into reserve rights. You do understand this, right? This is just common sense. This is easy money, honestly. Just like Palantir was very easy money. Just like Bitcoin's been very easy money. It's been a no-brainer from day one. And even Larry Fink agrees with me. He did say yesterday that the rebuild in California will take at least 10 years. So I want you to think about, because of that, more people are waking up. Hey, wait a minute, maybe it's better to have my wealth in real estate tokenized and diversified. Why would you put all your wealth in one house when you could own 100 houses along with us in various locations, right? Less risk, more upside potential. And what if you could own the best properties, beach and oceanfront, mansions and ski lodges around the world that you normally couldn't afford? Those assets will appreciate more. Palm Beach is always going to go up a lot more on Billionaires Row. Millionaires row in Thailand's always going to appreciate much more than anywhere else because it's where the rich people live. It's where all the money is. Just like Maui Boo, property values just keep skyrocketing. Again, many of my homes are, that personally have already 3x'd. So it's a 3x in just 4 years since the 2020 lockdowns. I mean, that's incredible. It's a huge wealth tool. And the rich now moving their money out of the banks so that they want sovereignty and control and mobility in an entirely new sovereign man designed, sovereign woman world of which technology bridges the gap to a new form of liberty and freedom that I don't think has ever existed before in human history, which is what always drew me intellectually, spiritually as well, to the space, because I always viewed it not necessarily as the digits on the screen or, wow, look at me and look at my net worth, although all of that's nice, but it's mostly about the fact that this is where you can actually live a free life with opportunity and tools in a future which is getting more increasingly competitive and difficult for the majority. I mean, think about all the robots that are going to replace people. Elon Musk says that every human, every American will be replaced by 3 robots of his. He says they're going to be like your companion, but really they're going to take all your jobs. So all that's going to shift. And the elites know that. And that's why they're pushing it all into blockchain and crypto, because again, that is the ubiquity of the new establishment system that I've wholeheartedly, so passionately, as really my life's work. I mean, I'm known as the Bitcoin guy. Like some people even think I'm irritating. Like I've told them about Bitcoin so much. I've been the most irritating person they've ever come across. And the last 10 years have been forced to hear me bark about Bitcoin all this time. And then now to see it become total new world reserve standard. I mean, that's just got to be really a shocking event for a lot of people. But again, I'm the one that got into social media early too and knew that that would be the biggest thing in the world. I'm always early and I'm never wrong in tech, ever. God bless. Links below. Call my dad. Roll over your 401ks, your IRAs now. Take some profits in the market. If you're up huge in XRP, take 25% off today. Okay, book and realize the gain and secure. We also accept crypto. Call my dad on that, 808-442-2934. Come and fill out an app. Okay, fill out 150 units. Onboard. Book some time with us, right? Get some use. Ask any questions that you need. You can fund immediately. ACH, wire transfer. We even accept credit card for partial if you want to do like some units that way or like kind of DCA in. You can do that as well. We have a proven, established proof of concept model of a host collection of properties averaging each about 5 to 6 million each in various locations, now on 3 islands, soon to be internationalized, and also in Park City, Deer Valley, Booyah. So again, it's all physical, it's all real, you can all touch it. You can learn about all the properties, give you the specs on it. We have a $30 million mansion by itself under development right now that I'm spearheading. Really incredible, got all the plans for that. Out in Maui, Booyah, I mean, that's gonna be freaking insane. So like, again, what are you waiting for? And that's what I'm asking, but also I'm urging you to make sure you're taking profits into this windfall. Let it ride. I mean, things are going to be great, but be taking profits, okay, along the way. And steadily do that to preserve your family's legacy, your net worth, your security, your freedom in something with no downside, with only upside. Because keep in mind, we're also tokenizing it too, which is a separate event only for our exclusive members, functioning much like an IPO. You know, it's not technically an IPO, but that's really what it is. It's a call option on the future liquidity event that's going public. And then, of course, our token's going to trade on worldwide exchanges like Coinbase and Gemini and Kraken and decentralized DEXs. And we've already positioned for that because we're obviously very well funded. Another thing that a lot of these other projects aren't. They don't have any money. So again, go to the guarantee. Go to the sure thing. I love you. I hope you have a beautiful day. Hopefully that provided some encouragement. Very, very exciting. And I'm really looking forward ahead to all the amazing travels. And we'll be having fun. I'll be doing some, political videos and stuff too. But right now, I mean, it is political, guys. Like, I know not everyone's interested in crypto, but like the only thing you should be focused on right now is crypto. There's nothing else. This is again, you're going to miss cell phones. You're going to miss social media. Like, that's it. Trump's even telegraphing it right now. He's like, I'm the Bitcoin president. So I'm not telling you anything you probably shouldn't know, but I'm just pointing out that all this other stuff doesn't even matter. Like the geopolitics and what's going on in the world and Trump versus Biden. Like, you know, again, unless you're taking advantage of the opportunity, improving your own life and that of your family and friends, doing bold things, being courageous and a great leader. I mean, what else are you here for? Like, again, that's why we're here. Anyways, I love you guys. Be looking for some new merch. It's coming out. And again, my dad's number, Jonathan, is 808-442-2934. That's 808-442-2934. Let us know how we can help. Read our terms and disclaimers. I'm not a financial advisor. Your financial advisor's broke. He told you not to buy Bitcoin. Fire him and join us, because I've been telling you to buy Bitcoin and crypto for going on nearly a decade. And now I'm telling you to buy islandproject.com, the #1 real estate investment in the world that we've already pulled off. Congratulations. Hold on to your hats and get ready for a wild ride, because this is Bitcoin Trump country now, and it's up only from here. God bless.